Hey class, it's Mrs. Sorrells here. I don't know about you, but my eardrum still hurts from Mr. Nelson, so I'm going to save you with the singing today, and we're just going to get started. Today, you've already looked at customary units conversions. Today, we're going to look at the metric side, the easier side. So that's good news. All right, get your notes out and get ready to follow along. Okay, you can see this chart. Just a second. Darn it. I didn't choose a pen. Or did I? Okay, we'll just edit that out. Darn it. How do you, there we go.
Gosh darn it.
So Sorrel's having trouble here. Why am I picking these nasty colors? We can edit this out, right?
See?
Okay. Alright, so you've got this chart in front of you. We're going to talk a little bit about it, and we need to fill in some abbreviations, and then we also need to fill in some more details. So this is the metric ladder that we're going to be using to go up and down, back and forth to get to the measurement you need to see. First off, let's look at the basic unit. You need to fill in the blank here. This could be 3 different types of units. We've got meters, liters, and grams. Okay, and you could put any one of these. These are called the prefixes, the milli, centi, deci, deca, hecto, and kilo. Those go before the basic unit. So I could say millimeters, centimeters, decimeters, decameters, so on. I could do milliliters, centiliters, deciliters, so on. And same for the grams. Okay, now let's look at the abbreviations for the prefixes. For kilo, you have a K. For hecto, you have just an H. Notice there's 2 D's. There's deca and deci, so the way you separate those is deca is DA. Deci is just a D. Centi is a C, and milli is an M. Okay? Now we're going to talk about a little phrase that helps us remember the order of the ladder, because if you remember the order, you don't have to do any math, you're just moving the decimal. Look right here. You can see it says to convert to a smaller unit, if you move to the right, you just move the decimal that way. If I'm starting with deci and I'm going to get to hecto, I'm going up the ladder or to the left, and I would move the decimal that way. It's really easy. Okay, but here's your little phrase. You might have heard something like this to remember. The K stands for king. H would be Henry. D, doesn't. The U is for the basic unit, okay? Whoops, what'd I do? There we go. Usually. The next D is drink. The C for centi is chocolate. Yummy. And the M for milli is milk. So your little phrase to help you remember is King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. So anytime you're doing a metric problem, you can remember those letters in that order, and that way you can move up and down the ladder the way you need to. Alright, let's see. Here's the chart again. I've placed it up here. Yours just has the problems straight down. So we're going to start looking at some examples of exactly how to do this. Let's look at the first one. We've got 1,000 milligrams, and we're trying to get to grams. Okay, so just like the other ones, we've got a starting point and an ending point. We need to start at milligrams and end at grams. Now remember, the grams are right here. Meters, capital L for liters, and G for grams. Okay? So with every problem, I suggest you write out the letters. King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. Okay, and you're going to find your starting point. We're starting at milli. We're starting right here. Okay, and we're trying to get to grams, which is the basic unit, which is represented by the U. You just make frog jumps. 1, 2, 3. So I moved it 3 places. So what you'll do is you'll take this 1,000, you'll write it out, you'll make it a decimal. The decimal goes after the whole number, and you move it. I started here and I moved to the left 3, so guess what I'm going to do with the decimal here? Move it to the left 3. 1, 2, 3. Insert the decimal, and that's my answer. 1. 1.0, which is 1. Okay, so 1,000 milligrams equals 1 gram. It's as easy as that. Okay, let's look at the next one. Let's write out our letters. Okay, this one I've got cm, which stands for centi. Remember, this is C, and centimeters. Okay, so we are starting here, and we're trying to get to millimeters, so we're trying to get to milli right here. So all I have to do is whoop, jump once. And which way did I jump? That's right, to the right. Okay, so take your 160, put the decimal after the whole number, okay, and then we moved it to the right once. Uh-oh, what happens? I don't have a number in that blank space. What do you think I should fill it with? Yes, a placeholder 0. Okay, so it becomes 1,600 millimeters. Okay, let's look at the next one. We're going to keep going. This is easy breezy. King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. Say it in your head every time you do it so that you can make sure you get the letters right. Alright, we are starting at grams. I don't see a G here. Well, it's because G is a basic unit. So we're starting at the unit. And then we're going to kg, which is kilograms. Remember or kilo, either way. Tomato. Okay. The K stands for, looking at the first letter, it stands for kilo. So I've started here and I've got to go to the left, obviously. I'm going 1, 2, 3. So what do? Take your 100, make it a decimal, put the decimal after the whole number, and move it to the left. 1, 2, 3. Bam. Done. Now, when I move it, these zeros after are not necessary. I could add as many and it wouldn't change the value. So you could just leave it 1/10 of a kilogram. Okay, and this makes sense because grams are smaller than a kilogram. 100 grams would not even make up 1 kilogram, so it's a part of the kilogram. Okay? Alright, we're going to continue. Let's change colors. Let's do this one. Alright. Again, our abbreviations, you've already got them. This is K, H, DA, meters, liters, grams, D, C, and M. Alright, we've got 3 liters and we're converting it to milliliters. Okay, King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. Alright, here we go. Starting at liters, there's liters right up here in the basic unit. So start at the U, and I'm going to, the first letter here is M, milliliters. So I've got to get all the way to the milli. 1, 2, 3. Took me 3 jumps. So take your number, take 1, 2, 3 jumps, place the decimal, and you got it. Put the zeros in the blank space. Let's see if I can fit this. 3,000 milliliters. I've taken that 3 liters, that big unit, and I've split it up into little groups of milliliters. So yes, this number is going to be larger. Okay. Let's look at the next one. 14 kilometers, and so we're starting at the K, the kilo, and we're going to M, which is in the basic unit. King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. Please take the time to rewrite it every time. Don't try and do it on one that you've already done so that you don't get confused with the work that's already been placed on the one before. Okay, that took me about 2 seconds, so you can take the time to do that. All right, we're starting with kilo and we're going to meters. So that's basic unit. 1, 2, 3. We've got a lot where we're making 3 jumps. Okay, so here's 14. The decimal goes after. Okay, the decimal goes after because look, if I put it before over here, that's 14 hundredths. That is not 14 wholes. Okay, so we have 14 and we've got to move to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. Ba-bam, 14,000. Alrighty, 250 meters. King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. Robot style. Alright. Meters to kilometers. So we just did kilometers to meters. Now we're going back the other way. So if I went to the right 3 here, you can guess it. I'm going to go to the left 3 to get back. Okay, so I'm starting here and I went 1, 2, 3 to get to kilometers. So take the 250 and I put the decimal and now I go back 1, 2, 3. That's it. Okay, and you can leave it as 25 hundredths because that 0 doesn't have value. Remember, I could add on all those and it wouldn't matter. Alrighty, last thing we're going to look at together. We are moving along. Alright, I don't have it written here, but we're going to compare these. Okay, you're going to have to tell me which is greater than, less than, or equal to. Okay. So let's look. We've got centimeters and meters. Just like with our fractions, refer back to fractions. If you don't have the same denominators, you can't make the comparison. If I don't have the same unit, I cannot jump to conclusions and say that this one is bigger just because the number 56 is larger. Okay, we've got different units, so we have to make them the same units. Now, question is, which unit do you go to? My suggestion would take the bigger unit and convert it to the smaller one, but I'll show you why. Here's what you could do. So let's say we've got 56 centimeters, and then we're gonna convert this 8 meters to centimeters. So let's see, 8 meters. We've got King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. Okay, and so we have meters, which is a basic unit, and we're going to centimeters. 1, 2. Okay, and so I take the decimal, move it 1, 2. Now it becomes 800 centimeters. So if I compare 56 centimeters to 800 centimeters, you can obviously see that the 800 centimeters is going to be larger, or that 56 centimeters is less than 8 meters. Okay? If I did it the other way, let's say I want to leave it 8 meters, and I want to convert the 56 centimeters to meters. King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. Okay, so I'm starting with centi, and I'm going back to 1, 2 to meters. So start here. Okay, so you would have to compare a decimal to a whole number. So to me, it's easier to compare 2 whole numbers, but you can still see this isn't even 1 whole, so this one is obviously larger. It's up to you, your choice. Okay, let's do the second one, 7 grams to milligrams. I'm going to change the grams to milligrams. King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. Okay, grams is a basic unit. This represents meters, liters, and grams. And I'm going to change it to milligrams. So let's jump 1, 2, 3. So take your 7, put the decimal, and jump 1, 2, 3. Put the other decimal, the new decimal place, and it becomes 7,000. So you have 7,000 milligrams compared to 693 milligrams. Okay, you can make the comparison very easily now. Yeah, it says 693. Okay, you can see that that one is larger than the 693. All right, I do want to make a note that these have come from all different sections of your star chart. Okay, and just to clarify, we've got the length section. The length section describes the distance of something, how long something is, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's the distance of how long something is or large. The volume is where I think we're having some confusion. This is how much space something takes up. Okay, and so it's like a cylinder in your science class, how much water is in it, that's the volume. Okay, the weight, Mr. Nelson, his little science terminology, he says it's how many particles make up a figure, but you don't have to worry about that. You know what weight is. Weight's like when you get on the scale and it sees how much you weigh or how heavy something is. So that's just to clarify. These have been out of all of the different sections of the star chart. So we've covered it all and we've made our comparisons. All right, bring your notes to class. Do the Google Doc. It's not hard. We can do this one. This one's easy breezy. Okay, we've got confidence in you. Bring your notes back and then complete the Google Doc and you're done. Have a nice day.
You done?
What did I push? Escape?
Yeah. Woo. Back on that hosey.
I keep pushing it. Escape. What do I do? Alright, Nelson, why didn't it escape? Because the lights are still blinking.
Press F11.
Click.